Well, that was fun. If you're back, welcome back. If you're not, if you're not back, maybe you'll come back. Or not. Don't know what's going to happen. Anyways, we had some trouble. I don't know what happened. I kind of think it was on our end. I see Buck Del Campo. He had to go over the house. For some reason, it dropped the screen. It dropped the stream so hard that the stream just ended itself, so we couldn't reconnect. I don't know what happened. We were getting arrogant. We got a lot of people in, and we were like, "Woo, we're famous." Had to put us in our place. That's right, D-Man. It's the return. Welcome back, Mark Sauvé. Mark Sauvé and D-Man, we have only been streaming for a minute. Braden as well, you're here. You guys all get 4 points for being like on the ball. Thanks for sticking around. Buck Del Campo made me some soup. He made some chicken yesterday, and then today he added some of these big Italian green beans and some carrots, baby carrots, and onions. There's some onions in there, and it's pretty good. There's a lot. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the computer froze or if the ingestion server at YouTube kicked us. We have this problem on Thursdays. I don't know what that's about. Cooking with Buff. I don't know. I mean, there was nothing wrong with our internet, but I could not get OBS to. He couldn't get it to shut down. I couldn't get it to work. We rebooted, and then it was okay. It says there's an error, but it seems to still be working. I don't know. We're getting issues. Live chat. Yeah, technology can be like that. Problematic at times, you know? There's a delay. Who ate the tail light on the Ute? Oh, we took them off because I was doing some body work, and we're sorting out the mounting for the tailgate, and it's just easier to get at with the tail light there. Yeah, with the tail light out of the way. Granddad Shunk says it's out of control. Dick Slayer needs to be booted. I have a feeling that's just going to be trouble. Yeah. Thank you, Mexican Spec. That's why you make the big bucks. D-Man says that's why we should have a backup Buff Del Campo live part line. It says the bitrate is higher than recommended. Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit. Tim's playing around with the YouTube options, uploading his last No Name Nationals video. Yeah, you got to get familiar. Except unless you're a professional like me, I never make mistakes, so I don't have to worry about it. Like I can just go with whatever. The big bucks. That's right, Mexican spec. Just make sure you ask for your raises in percentages. Like I want a 50% raise. Those are easy to do. Welcome back, Shipyard. Braden, you can call 867-5309. Prank that all day. Mexican spec says the interior on the 57 Ford lets it down, but that can be fixed. Oh, of course. Interior, I mean, a nice interior really sells a car, but if it's all together and it just needs some interior work, that's not so bad. Interior work is pretty specialized, though. I was trying to redo that front seat on my Dart. Man, Braden, I know. That's Jamie's number. He said he was coming up here. The good thing is I brought the Sawzall that I wanted over, so now I can cut that piece. Bluegrit says being humble is a strong point of yours, Kim. I joke. I don't know what I'm doing. If I knew what I was doing, we'd be successful. I don't know if we're unsuccessful. We're not like an utter failure, but commercial-wise, we're not a commercial success. A commercial success, but I know why. We don't do enough of the things that bring in money. He doesn't want to do those things. He's retired, and I can't. I just can't go like I used to. My neck and back hurt so bad. I think I want to do this. I want to do that. I can't do it all. But we have friends. That's nice. And I hope we can be entertaining. We try to be. And I'm trying to work on this car. I want to get this car done someday. Someday. You all right? Oh, he was so upset.
We went from 50 people to 15, because the computer took a shit.
Oh, I know. It's unpleasant that we got dogs. Ultra something fighter, Jason Ellis, came to Bakersfield, California to do his comedy club gig. Did you watch that? Down with Skynet? Can't fight Skynet. I'm not Sarah Connor, but John Connor. D-Man says welcome back. My computer studies are doing okay. It is overwhelming. There is so much to learn. And I don't even know what direction I'm taking it yet. But I needed a hobby that I had more control over. And this is, when we're working with somebody else, you don't want to step on toes too much. So, Burlock mentioned I should try the from the Good Feet store. So, yeah, I'm going to get some and go there tomorrow maybe. Granddad's Junk says, why don't you guys build a grow room? In Tennessee, it is illegal, but
Build a what?
grow room. It would be nice to have some hothouse tomatoes early and late in the season, and some
You
other
can do that here, can't you?
legal vegetables.
Oh,
And so I was thinking about that. That would be nice. I don't know. Maybe maybe we'll look at it, but it's expensive.
You know that big mess we have out next to the house where my former wife made a bunch of raised beds where she grew weeds?
Yeah.
I'd like to take that all out, and that would be really cool to build one big
little farm plot there.
Yeah.
There's too much trees there. Too shady.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Sarah Turner. Oh, so I haven't seen Sarah in a long time. I think Sarah, the Canadian Sarah? Long time no chat. First time I've been awake to catch one of your streams. Past my bedtime. I think this is Sarah that used to come in here, but he used to come in before they all they changed to handles. So I think that's probably who it is. So, yeah, good evening.
They all want to know about our shoes.
Change shoe store. You buy from.
We're waiting.
I wish there was one.
We're waiting for our sponsorship any day now.
Why don't you just get a greenhouse set up, a little metal, because it's like everything else. Just do it. Just do it means you got to go spend a bunch of time and money. And right now we're just doing this car.
Yeah, because we're just working on this car.
Yeah, diesel guy from Canada. That's what I was thinking. Did you ever finish the? Oh no, it's right here too. It'll probably go on this car instead of the Dodge Dart. We're probably going to put it on this car. Sarah hasn't seen this. Can you? I can turn it easier, and you can turn it. We're working on this Valiant. We're turning it into a pickup truck. You know, like an El Camino. They call it a Ute down under. You know, in Australia, New Zealand, and so it's got a 6-cylinder in it as well, a slant 6. So that's probably the one will be. This will probably be the car that goes on. And yes, Kim has worked on it some, but we're also working on this, so we don't have either of them done. And I'm working on the tailgate hinges. And yeah.
And I'm working on the bed side. See the roll of tape there with finishing my suit. It's going okay. The weather finally broke. It's like 65 degrees today with no heat on. So it's nice.
Oh, you know what took me so long to get up here? When I went around the corner, a couple of raccoons were up there in the back of the Jeep. And they went big. I'm sure that's what they were. One of them was up on the bumper and the other one, they just
those groceries in there.
I put the groceries away.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were up there sniffing, I think. I don't think they were all the way in it.
I think the only thing that they could get into was maybe there might have been some cookies.
No, it was the only thing I saw. Everything I saw in there was drinks. The drinks are still in there, or something's still in there. Oh, the water, the case of water's still in there. I took everything into the house.
All right.
And I closed the Jeep.
Very cool. What happened? I've been in tears. Something happened with the computer. It broke and the stream ended.
Yeah,
so we had to start a new stream. We've been live again for 15 minutes.
OBS crashed.
Yeah, I mean this computer's an antique, and it's still working. If this computer were a car, it would be bound for scrapping. But it does a good job. We make it work. It usually hippie long. Kim, when you go to see Kay? Well, Kay and I talked about it. And I don't know that.
I need Kim here more than Kay needs Kim.
No. I think. I mean, it's up to Kay, but I feel like I didn't want to intrude. Right? And she's doing okay. maybe something will happen in the future, but we talked about it and we really weren't able to work out the timing and the scheduling and stuff like that. And yeah, and he wants me here. I don't know. Something could happen in the future, but I don't know. It just, we weren't able to, we talked about it for a little while. We did talk about it for a little while, and we're just not sure. I don't travel so good. My neck is so messed up. And she doesn't have a lot of space for me to stay. I just didn't want to impose. It looks like a great monkey bike collar. Tim, it would be an excellent mini bike collar. It would fit right up in there. You strap it down. It'd be good. Sarah Turner says, or Sayer Turner?
Sayer.
Sayer. I've retired from turning wrenches and went back to construction. More money, less warranty crap. Yeah, being a mechanic is not so great.
You know what's good about turning wrenches? When you're doing it for yourself and not for customers. Then it's fun. Kim, there's a box of drill bits here somewhere.
Box of drill bits.
Well, there's that one that's full of holidays, but maybe there's the one I need. This one has a bunch of missing, but there's a full one. I don't see it. I thought it was right here somewhere, but maybe. I'll see. Maybe the one I need is in here.
Okay. I might have taken it up to the house because I was working on the bathroom. I did make good progress with my bathroom. I put down some flooring and the toilet flange, the plumbing part of the toilet flange is installed. So, Barracuda asks, is it too cold for the 60s dress tonight? It is a little too cold. And I don't want to get my dress dirty. Blue Gert Garage says, I visited an old-time speed shop for the first time last week. They had 3 cool cars in the showroom until a car ran off the road and through the building. A motorcycle did the same thing weeks later. What? Why would people run into the building repeatedly? That's so weird. That's so weird. Why is this aimed so far over there? Campus. Lurking in the shadows.
So much in the way.
I know. That's how it goes. We've had that discussion often. It's just so much stuff in the way. Tim says we're going to have to start a GoFundMe for a new monkey bike build. I mean, I have the other motor. It's on my pressure washer though. I guess I could sacrifice my pressure washer. I've got an electric one, but I got a gasoline pressure washer, and that's my other motor of that size. And I got an aluminum flywheel to replace the broken one. I don't know. We are not taking 3 cars to go name nationals. He was talking about taking 2. I said no. 1 car. 1 car. Granddad Junk says there are some Kims around. I've got one bought her from the Kim shop. A good Kim is a hell of a thing to have around. You can't go wrong with a Kim. There really is no downside. Let's see. Braden asks, is the Bronco going to No Name Nationals ever just for fun to take it down the strip? I would have to trailer the Bronco. It's really not highway drivable unless I really would have to do some more experiments. I don't even know if it will go into overdrive and it's got like 410 gears in it. I don't know if you could even go highway speed in it, and the sway bars are cut so that it has more articulation in the axles. I don't know how it would handle in the turns and stuff. It's really it's cut up to be off road, and I don't know. But I was tinkering with it yesterday because I want to play with it, and the weather's nicer. But it doesn't have the heat plumbed. There's no hoses to run the heat, so I don't want to mess with it when it's cold. Now that it's warmed up, I put air in the tires. I was looking at exhaust because I don't want to disturb the neighbors too much. So I was looking at what I need to put together just some rudimentary tack a muffler on there. I guess he doesn't seem too happy about that drill bit. Yes, Dean, we're back. We're back. But he says you're never fast or cheap enough when turning wrenches for customers. Yeah, that's the wrong kind of customers. I don't want to have to train a bunch of customers of what it's like. You know, you spend your whole life trying to explain to people why it costs so much. You need a Kim that can help you split fire. We could get a wood splitter.
Oh my God, that's hard.
Do you want me to clear you a path to the drill press? Or is it not
The
a
problem
matter?
is we welded this. It's chromoly. We welded it. It cooled too fast, so it's hard as nails.
Uh-oh.
So I really need to do is heat treat it correctly. Why does everything that's simple turn into something that's not simple?
If it were easy, anybody could do it.
Everything that's simple turns into something that's not simple.
Granddad's Junk says, my Kim is good farming stock. Her parents were farmers. Is that why you have all the greenhouses? So that Kim has things to enjoy? You have to make sure that your Kim has enough, in the Kim enclosure has to have enough, you know, if you don't have enough things to keep you entertained and happy in your enclosure, then you'll get irritated, right? You can't stress the Kim too much, you know. Has anybody heard? I heard. Stop me if you've heard this story of the golden goose. You know, you don't throttle the golden goose. You don't threaten it, force it to lay the golden eggs. You have to be nice to it. You have to feed it. You have to nurture it, and it will produce, right? You have to feed it nice things. You have to pet it nice. You have to talk nice to it. You have to make it happy and let it feel creative, and then it will produce things. If you push and push and push and threaten and act all crazy, the goose will not. The goose will clench all up and no eggs will be produced. Does anybody understand this concept? Braden says you put a nitrous kit or twin turbo on your Bronco. Maybe. No. There you are. I got him in focus a little bit. So, the thing with the Bronco is the Bronco got drunk and spent the night in the pond before I got it. Maybe more than once, right? When I crawl under there, there's all this, you could tell, right? When you sink a vehicle and the differentials fill with water, when you run them again and they get hot, it foams and it all shoots out the vents, right? So the whole underside is coated with this remnant It's just like when a car overheats and sprays antifreeze everywhere. You can see it all under the hood and all, you know that it's been having problems, right? There's evidence if you're like detective, right? I know. And then I had to go in and replace the gaskets in the valve body and flush the fluid multiple times to get all the foam out of the transmission. And I changed out the fluid in the transfer case. Luis is back. He's so happy we're back. Welcome back, Luis. Yeah, we had technical problems. I think we got it going again. And with my luck, the goose would die. Well, it happens. Goose don't live forever. But if you're nice to it, you'll get the most out of your goose. That's my advice to you, based on my experience of being a Kim. Is that when people are nice to me and treat me nice, I don't ask for fancy things. You see, I'm happy with some simple things, but I can't handle too much stress or mean words. It upsets me. They used lead plaster rather than solid plates. I didn't know that. I thought they still used solid plates. Um, the Speed Shop Road, Blue Grit Garage tells us, was 2 lanes in each direction. To slow people down, the city changed it to 1 lane in each direction with a suicide lane. Now people do 60 in a 30 zone through the suicide lane. Why are they in such a hurry? This is not a real, the one in the picture isn't a real one. It's a rendition that Bob Del Campo made. He made that with art, and then it's just a picture. He like cut and paste pieces to make it. And then this one here is previously a 4-door car that is being converted to a tribute of an Aussie Ute. It is not exactly the same car, but it's similar. It's very similar. And there was no American equivalent in those years. Uh, I did not. Let's see. I did pull the torque converter on the Bronco. I had the torque converter out. Did I have to change torque converters? I took the torque converter out, but I didn't change it out. I had to flush the fluid. I mean, you can't get the fluid out of a torque converter. But I flushed it, and it does not foam anymore. I ran through multiple changes of fluid, and I pulled the pan. I ran the fluid through, and then I drained it back out, and I redid the valve body, and then I filled it with new fluid again. And it does not foam. So I have all the water out of the system. And it does drive and shift, but it's been through hell. And it doesn't have a brake booster. I forgot about that. Blue Grit Garage asks, are we going to make a small 2-wheel enclosed trailer to pull behind the Ute to No Name Nationals?
For what?
Maybe upgrade the brakes.
Why do we want a trailer when we got a pickup?
I don't know.
Maybe we need it. We don't know it yet.
Right now, we don't need to bring enough stuff that we're going to worry about it. It might be nice. I don't think we've really thought that far ahead a lot. It would be kind of neat. I have a 2-wheel trailer. Remember I made that enclosed trailer when I moved down here? Maybe you don't. On my channel, I made a trailer, and it's got our we have a gasoline generator in there that I keep on standby in case we ever have a power outage. Which honestly, our power here is stable. It's crazy. Even through all that snow and everything, people had problems. We didn't have a flicker. Um, Ford says some have drain plugs. Yeah, we put a drain plug in that pan. So because I didn't want to have to drop the pan if it needed drained again. But I mean, I ran it around the yard for like an hour one day, and we just were doing little errands. I think there was a video where I used the hoist thing and picked up we had that Chrysler 300 and I dragged it over here. I had that thing running continuously for like an hour, and the fluid in the transmission did not foam at all. So I feel good about it, and it does, but it acts funny. And like I said, I know it's been through hell, so I don't feel confident enough. And the tires that are on it are not street tires whatsoever. They're silly, stupid, tall. And I did take all the brakes apart. Granddad's Junk says you can use aluminum plates, but it's less conductive. Yeah, designing your own batteries from scratch is fancy, but for the price, you just buy a cheap new battery every 3 years or something like that. A cheap one, what, $80 or $90 for a cheap lead acid battery, and buy a new one every 3, 4. Sometimes they last 5 years, 6 years, depending on the climate. If you're in a cold climate, they just don't survive as well because you have to crank harder. But I mean, for the price, you can't screw around and do better. Ford Verloc says, I had a 1990 Century front-wheel drive. Had the water trans exchange issue. Radiator pipe broke. Ugh, that sucks. I think the water got into that transmission from it being underwater, but I'm not sure because we don't use we had to change out radiators because those radiators are the ones with the plastic tanks, and it was junk. So some people here, I think it was Dirt Road Landing, made a sizable donation to help us get a new radiator in there. So it's got a new radiator so that that motor, batteries used to last 10 years, no worries. They make them cheaper now. They make them cheaper. They do. If you buy an expensive battery, it might last 10 years. The thing of it is the cheapest cheap battery is way cheap compared to when you figure in inflation. They're garbage. They only last 3 years, and then they stop putting out the voltage they're supposed to. But if you get a good one, it might last longer, but you can't count on it. If you buy, sometimes you buy the top quality battery, and it's really just the cheap battery with a 3-year warranty. I don't know. Barry Kuda says a cheap battery here is more like over $200. Wow. Some of the stuff here is not so bad. I don't know.
What's 200 Australian? He's in Australia or he's in New Zealand? I forget.
I don't remember where Barry Kuda is either. $200 for a battery is harsh.
I don't know what the exchange is.
Yeah, I think their money is worth more generally. I don't know.
Where did I put that? Set it down.
Oh, a torque converter with a drain plug? No, that Ford one doesn't have a drain plug.
Okay. This stuff has to cool off slowly.
Steve Morris has a torque converter that is bolted together for racing. Yeah, but those things are pricey, big time money. If I was doing racing and I had sponsors and stuff like that, I guess I would.
Can you switch the camera, please?
Yeah, Dean says you can add zinc pyridine. I don't know. Look at his comment. Like you find in shampoo. Does that make the batteries last longer?
VO5. I don't know. I don't put shampoo in.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, maybe it'll help a little bit, but
Steve Edwards. Yes, I got the box. I sure did. I opened it up. I looked at
how
it
did I miss his comment?
because it's at the very bottom. It just popped up.
Oh.
So, but I haven't messed with it much because I've been busy with other things. But tomorrow, we're really hoping to put up my homemade tower. It's not much of a tower. It's a mast. So we can get the CB working in the house. But then that one that's what was it? I keep calling it Radio Shack. Was a realistic. I think it's going to go in this Ute when we get it finished, because I think that'll be a great radio for going down the road. I still have to get a microphone, but I have some microphones around here, and one of them may work. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, I got it. Thank you very much. Did you get the money I sent? I hope.
Blue Grit suggests, Walter says, Kim, for an old 6-cylinder, just run a Farm and Home or Tractor Supply 330 cold cranking amp mower battery for under $50. I mean, I'll buy a regular size battery. It's a little more, but it's not bad. We don't have problems. I mean, we have more cars than we have good batteries, and most of the batteries that we have that are bad are just old, and they're just old and bad, or someone left them. You never want to leave a battery discharged. That just kills them. Or if you leave them discharged in the winter, they'll freeze and then they'll crack and leak. I think I have about 4 old batteries here. We just probably go up to Walmart and bulk buy some new ones. Not that I could afford $200 worth of batteries. I need to get tires. That's going to be $400. I need a bunch of tires. We need
things that used to be $100 are now $1,000. And that doesn't work. Man, it just makes life miserable.
You just can't have a horde of cars.
You know what those are, Kim?
I found these
just
separate from those.
And they go with those bolts, and those are the ones that go on the Titan Tornado stabulator. Those are the bushings for the
stabulator.
And I only have 4 of those left. Those ones I drew up for the other Kim. That's the airplane Kim.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. You don't ground it well. There is lightning. Oh, the mast. Yeah, it'll actually be on the ground.
You look a little blurry.
I look blurry?
Yeah. How come you're blurry?
I don't know. Maybe I got.
There's something on that lens. That lens is going to need clean.
Border Rule says Australian dollar for 75% of US dollar.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know they got to spend more to get the same thing we get. So, if anybody's wondering what I was doing, we made these hinge pieces out of chromolyl 4130. At 4130, you've got to cool it off in a controlled manner. It's called normalized. And then it's about 90,000 psi. Mild steel is usually around 60,000 psi yield. So the way to do that is heat it up so it's just barely red, somewhere around 950 to 1,000 degrees, and then just slowly cool it off, and then let it just cool at room temperature. But I think because we welded on it with a MIG machine, it probably got really hot and then cooled off quickly and hardened it to the point where I was ruined 2 drill bits trying to drill through it. So I normalized it. I got to let it finish cooling, and then I'll be able to drill through it. Hopefully I have another drill bit that's not ruined. But anyway, that's what I was doing, and they're still too hot to handle.
All right.
I'm just explaining what I was doing over there. You had a camera on me, and I was just heating and then walking away.
No, I understand. You did good.
Looks silly.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell them what you did. Do you want to trade me, and you're going to have the hot seat, and I'm going to go back to what I was doing?
I don't know. Let's see. Make a cheap capacitor stack, Kim. Stuff starts good, right? Fun battery for fun project.
Our stuff does start good. A cheap capacitor would be interesting, but we don't have the time for the science right now.
A friend of mine.
Good night, Walter.
Oh, Walter's taking off? Okay. Take off.
Uh-oh, we got weather coming.
I don't know. This doesn't matter.
You want this chair?
I guess I could. Talking about capacitors, I know. I don't know. Most people probably aren't. Another stupid story. Might take too long to tell.
No, you're allowed to tell stories. It's kind of your job. It's kind of your job.
You know, a lot of electric vehicles, what makes them undesirable is the amount of charge time. So, I know guys working on robotics, and they work on these forklifts that are they're robotic forklifts. So they run them because, like in a big warehouse, the person sitting at the keyboard that's bringing the stuff in on trucks and putting it on the shelves and taking it off the shelves and putting it on other trucks just keys the stuff in, and they have these robotic forklifts that go around. But in the warehouse, a lot of the time on those forklifts, they're sitting there charging. So what they did was they made these forklifts with these big capacitors on them, and they made some circuitry so the capacitors charge up instantly, and they're huge, but they discharge slowly. So they run over something that charges the capacitor up instantly, and then it does some work, and when it comes back and runs across that thing again, it charges the capacitor back up. And they never have downtime for charging because they're slowly. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty. The busier they are, the more times they.
Well, you don't have vehicles sitting there downtime while they're charging batteries, charging
pretty fancy,
charging big ass capacitors. I wouldn't want to touch one of those capacitors.
Friday.
OBS Shipyard's back. Well, good. Some of you have come back after this big crash we had. We had about 50 people in here. I was feeling real good, and then it crashed. And
as long as we were having fun with our friends.
It took a while to get the thing. It crashed so badly I couldn't shut it off. And I finally went down to the house and put up a new thumbnail. And Kim, I think, rebooted the computer, unplugged it or something. We just had to start over. And we tried to save it. We spent too much time trying to save it. And eventually just started over. But it was probably a half an hour that we were down. Sorry about that. Bruce Colchin's here. Man, I'm starting to see, because I wasn't over here. Ford Rule says, brilliant idea. I think that's about the Masters, maybe?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Stevenson, Howard Moves. Pit Snipe says, I've got a salvage 50 horsepower variable frequency drive. A nice stack of 6 caps in there. Wow. You got to be, Master's really cool, but you got to be really careful with them. Good, don't short them. Like old original color TVs from back in the 50s and the 60s. Man, they get knocked.
They always warned us, don't mess around in them DVDs.
Oh, I know, guys. It ruined, the old-fashioned meters before they had a needle instead of a electronic ones. I knew people had ruined meters on color TVs. New guys. Oh, Luis says, awesome. That's a very good idea. Wow, Luis is here. Good. Oh, Alice here. I didn't even
Welcome in,
Alice. Here. And Kim's doing something with that camera.
Yeah, put the side
camera on, the dual cam. Okay, there's that and that.
There you go.
Okay. Then I gotta scoot a little bit. I don't know which way I have to scoot. This way? Nope. This way.
I made myself up.
I can't scoot in. There's a wheel chock. I can't go back any further. I'm gonna have to move this camera a little bit.
I made myself up. Mark, so I can, and then I got all.
Okay, before you cut, I don't understand your plan, and then you don't want to weld it back together. I want to weld it, and if we can grind that on both sides, I'll weld it back together.
All right.
I don't want to have it, it's a butt joint.
Just where it's all smashed here, that's a mess. I got to get rid of that.
Oh, okay. Are we going to have enough left?
We already don't have enough, so we're going to have to fill a space in there. Like, we're not going to just put it back together.
Okay, let me come over there and look at it. I want to be in part of this decision making before we just cut something that we got to replace. What are you cutting out?
I'm going to cut straight down here.
Yeah.
I'm going to space it out so that fits to the end and this fits to the end. And then inside here, I'm going to make a piece that comes up at the shape of that, wraps around here, and mounts it. It won't be able to.
What about that big Foley thing there?
That's going to have to get hammered out.
You're not going to be able to hammer that.
We might have to cut it.
It's completely seed, yeah.
But it's flat, so it's easy to work on. Right. This wobbly.
Well, and you know where we can get metal for that? See that trunk lid? Yeah, we got plenty of metal for that. And that's not galvanized. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to be over there to see what Kim's cutting apart before it's cut. So much easier not to cut. So we got to cut. Okay. Let's see here.
Halfway. You can see.
Oh, that is noisy, Kim. I mean, it hurts my ears.
Where's your earplug?
I got them on. Wow, he says something about Thrifty Drug. Man, I remember that place. Okay, maybe I can hear for a minute. Yeah, I saw the stuff in here about Thrifty Drug. See, Thrifty Drug I think they were all West Coast. They had ice cream. It was like a little Walmart. Probably not quite that good, but it was a pretty good sized store. They had ice cream and they had tubes, like for a TV, the vacuum tubes. And you go in there and you could test your tubes and buy new tubes. And all Thrifties had tubes. That was back in the day when you bought tubes and you fixed your TV before the day of transistors. Oh, man. Yeah. She's fitting for a minute. I'll take this off. Those are kind of
I'm done making noise for a bit.
Okay. I want to... it's crowded in here tonight. Every time I go to move, there's stuff in the way. What is this? Dean Stevenson says is in A1C. A1C is Airman First Class. That's a rank in the United States Air Force.
No, that's something with your sugar, isn't it?
Yeah, A1C is something with your sugar. Anyway, yeah, I just tested maximum power liberation. Formula E. Select. This type, I'm not sure that was 20 years ago. I don't remember more. I don't know what Mexican specs talk about singles. Oh, you're talking about thrifty. Oh, 10-cent single for the ice cream? Is that what it was? I don't remember that. I remember going in there and getting ice cream. My parents would, it's always, no. But later I'd go in there and get them. But I don't remember what they cost. Well, everything then was cheap, you know. Yeah, get a pocket full of change, you could buy a lot of stuff. Now a pocket full of change just weight in your pocket. What's VFD? Before VFDs, that's so cheap. What are they talking about? I drove a few three-phase motors with single-phase motors to create three-phase. Oh, I've seen that. I've seen people do that. They had a thing with a motor that made three-phase. Yeah, Mexican spec. I figured it out. He said the price of thrifty ice cream. Man, you remember that too? Because I remember that. When I got my driver's license, 1970, and man, that was one of the places I used to go, was Thrifty Drug. And there was a guy in there that was a teacher at the junior high school, and he worked at Thrifty Drug at night. We always go in there to see him. I wonder if he's still alive. I should try to chase him down. He was a young guy then, but older than us, obviously, because he was a teacher and we weren't. Kim, can you trim some of the big factory seam off the top of the wheel well?
This here?
Factory seam.
Oh, this?
Well, they can't see that.
This here?
Oh,
don't need.
No, I don't want to trim that. That's what holds it together.
Yeah, that's part of the unibody, honestly. That's
yeah.
just got to stay. But it's not in the way, right? This fits over them. This is hitting here, right here. It is hitting that seam, but I think what I want to do is bend this up a little bit. I'm just gonna form this with a little hammer, tap tap tap, and but probably not right now because Buck Del Campo's ears are very sensitive.
Well, it's not that. I mean, we're on a live. You know, when we're in here alone, and you know, we were working the other night, we weren't making any noise.
I know.
We weren't on a live. We get on a live, we start beating the shit out of stuff and sawing.
For a bunch of months, I was being real careful about planning to make sure we had good work to do during the live streams. We just haven't gotten back into it to the point where I'm organized.
Well, you know what I mean? The weather really knocked us silly.
It did, but we'll get there again.
Man, all of a sudden it's warmed up, you know.
We're organized and really putting together quality live form content. There, can you see?
I can see.
Okay.
Now I see the gap.
So what my plan is, not this piece, but this is galvanized, but my plan is to make a piece of metal that bridges this gap, this shape, right? But then this piece will be affixed to the inner fender, and it will be underneath. So this will go on top, and then, I guess, weld into it.
Hmm.
And this piece will fill the gap. Also, it will be, before I put these in, it's going to weld to
What is
all
that?
this.
What is that big wiggly thing?
This thing?
Yeah.
This is a piece of the roof off that board, but it's no good. I'm not going to use it because it's all galvanized.
Yeah, so I was going to say, that's galvanized.
No, I'm going to start with something that's not galvanized, but I was just using this as an example.
Okay, because those two inner fender pieces, we'll grind the shit out of that, so it's not galvanized. I'll weld it.
Yeah, and we got to get rid of this mess here, I think.
Oh, it says I had a migraine the past couple of days, but your noise canceling works. Problem is, I can't hear you guys when it kicks in. Well, yeah. I know. That's why I just put on the headset and I mostly don't talk while she's cutting. Because then it's, well, we do, you know, noisy shops or shops where things are getting done. We're trying to get things done. We'd like to be able to drive this thing to No Name Nationals. And we got about, about 205 days to go, something like that.
I mean, it seems reasonable, but gosh, it's a lot of work still.
Yep.
But it is a driving car. I don't know. I mean, we drove it in here.
We drove it in here. We drove it around. We need to rebuild the front end we rebuilt. The right side we've got all the pieces and everything. We need to rebuild the left side.
But the brakes work. The engine runs good.
The engine runs great. Transmission works.
You know
great.
what though? It doesn't have kick down. Remember, it doesn't have kick down.
Yeah, we got to put kick down. But that's we can.
But everything you try and do, it's a full night. It ends up being a full day work.
Yeah, everything. It's like every time somebody says can't you just, it's usually several days of can't you just.
Yeah, it's like absolutely.
That's how it is.
You can do that. It'll only take us a day or two.
I know on TV they build it. They take a frame off restoration, all new parts, all new upholstery, new everything, and they do it in 37 minutes. But no, it takes 2 years to do that.
I mean, when you're smart in your mind, you can put it together in no time. But in practical, use, man, it's a lot more than. There's a lot that goes on.
Yeah, this one isn't a full restoration. It's just a bunch of custom body work.
It's just a repair.
So this will be a driver. It won't be like a.
It was supposed to be a fun project.
It's a fun project.
We had this car, and it was going nowhere. Nobody would want it because it's not that most desirable car. We want to do something fun with it.
It's nice as well. Just is my pet peeve. People always say that. Can't you just? Can't you just?
Can just. All we need is money.
This was. Hey, I think we'll just make it into a pickup.
Can't you just make that into a Ute? But yeah.
E-Fog's here. Good evening.
We could just make this into a Ute. That's a great idea. So I'm thinking, for the sake of sanity, that I will make this come up. I don't know if you can see. I don't care if they can see that much, but I want you to see. Can you look? Or can you see?
I can see your finger in the.
I want it to come up.
Yeah.
Go this way.
Yeah.
And then come up.
On the inside. On the inside.
I'll make the whole thing come up with the backer, and we'll weld along that seam, because this is a mess. I got to cut it.
I know, that's a mess. Okay, so you're going to cut along the inside of that tape?
Yeah, like...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't cut it.
That gets rid of all this mess, and then we'll clean this all up so we can weld. And then I'll make sure there's a backer, and it'll be mounted to this. So this will actually be part of the structure. And then there's
and we can take those
There's a beam across right here that's welded into the structure that supports. And then there's a angle iron like that over there all along this edge of the bed for it to sit on. And then I'll have to make something right here. And I'll have to make something where they overlap over there. That'll be more than enough structure for these engines. And there'll be a bit of a gap.
So before we weld anything together, we take that thing outside with a flapper disc, and I'll knock off
both of us.
All that. Yeah, we'll get rid of all that galvanized shit so we can weld it.
We'll get rid of all the galvanizing. Yeah. And I'll have to do some hammer forming right in here because it's a little bit the wrong. This used to go like this.
I'm going to walk over there and see how my. Can you take care of the chat for a few minutes?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I want to work on my pieces I was working on over here.
Okay, let me give you the camera so they can see what you're doing. Are you going to be on that, or are you going to be moving around a lot?
Oh, this is still warm, but it's not that. Oh, I hope I haven't ruined it, drilled it. And I hope I actually accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
There's a lot of drill bits.
I know, but there's only so many 3/16 drill bits.
Well, don't mess up the. If you drill a smaller hole, you can always.
I drilled a smaller hole, and it was
bad too.
Oh, it was squealing. The metal was so hard. I hope I fixed it, but I probably ruined this drill bit.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's already squeaking. Yep.
Oh, let's just make this into a Ute then. That's right.
That's what I was saying.
You guys know. We're not talking about any of you. All of you understand. It's funny. It's what we say. Can't you just? Mine used was $4,000 Canadian. Yikes. Welcome in, E-Fog. I've seen those motors. I think I saw Koning's project a while ago too. What is it?
Koenigsegg.
Okay.
That's a company in
Get along. We are buddies hanging out together. It's okay. It's okay. Don't let us. He gets triggered, but he's okay.
Oh.
My pet trigger is, do you see it? Well, would you look at that?
Why is this squealing?
Olive says, I wouldn't have tried as hard to make it like the Aussie bed, and just had provisions for some rails if I found the bed wasn't tall enough. Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. It is. And I had that Ford bed, and the outer, it wasn't pristine. It wasn't so nice that it was worth money. And I was like, we can just use it. And it wouldn't have been so bad, except we started and we were like knee deep in it before I really realized that I was poisoning myself with the piece of galvanized. I just didn't know it was galvanized.
Oh my God.
You're having a good time. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. Have you finalized your tailgate hinge design? It is not finalized, but that's what he's trying to drill through. And I guess we heated that up, and now it's hard as nails. Harder than nails. So no, Lester. But we're working on it, and we have a plan. Kevin Smith is here. Welcome in, Kevin. Good to have you.
Oh, come on. Well, let's try to get drill bit. If that's something.
They're talking about some electrical stuff.
Yeah, they're talking about three-phase and making three-phase with single-phase.
Daniel Morrissey wants to know what kind of drill bits you're using.
Ruined.
I think they're cheap ones. I think they're Harbor Freight drill bits.
The problem is that we used chromoly, welded it, and it was hard as nails. And I should have normalized it first, but I didn't. So I ruined a couple of drill bits. Now I normalized it, and I'm trying to use ruined drill bits.
That wasn't even chromoly. That was just mild steel. That strapping was mild steel. I don't know why you think it's so hard. Buff knew why the metal was too hard. Military experience.
That's not from my military experience. That's from my aircraft design experience. Which is
on a bed of nails, she waits me wait. That's true, Dean.
All I need is the size bolts.
With or without you?
Hmm?
What do you need?
I need the size bolts I need, which I don't see any.
No. We're gonna have a shopping list.
At some point I have to order the right shit. Never do it.
Oh, they can't.
I don't want them to see this.
You want to punch?
I'm having trouble.
Oh.
I'm trying to handhold stuff that all needs to be clamped in place, and then the clamps aren't going to fit. So I especially make clamps and. So
can't you just?
Yeah, it's a can't you just problem. I don't have the patience to do it the right way.
Kevin Smith has a drill doctor. You want me to try and hold it with something? Or do you want to use a center punch?
Well, I shake. You have to drill that in the center of that hole, and I hold it like this.
Center? You want a chair with wheels?
Okay, stop. Okay, there should be enough dent that that'll go through. So I can continue. You can go back to chat. No?
Kevin says, always break the 1/8 inch drill bit. Break.
Yeah, that's it. This is a number 30, which is real close to an 1/8. Number 30 is about 3.5 thousandths over an 1/8, which works real good for 1/8 inch rivets because they fit right in. They don't. It's not an interference fit. But I'm not doing rivets. I'm just using it for a pilot hole. Yo, that got hot. See, this is for fit only, but it's too damn long. Short hooks.
Bruce says it's still sitting in his shop. He hasn't looked at it for 20 or 30 years.
I need a short one of those.
That is definitely. Patient.
Yeah, then I need to put another bolt here. It's going to be up real close, but we can still screw a nut on the back. I'm going to turn on this side, but I need short ones, and all I have is long ones. I need short bolts.
I know. We need to get
and I need to order them, which I can do later tonight. What are you doing? You're showing everybody what this hinge is going to look like.
I haven't got this.
Okay. What's going on here? Yeah, Ford rules. I don't know what that's about. I'm just down at the bottom. But the stream crashed earlier. No people crashed. Oh yeah, but it was really bad here trying to get this thing going. We had almost 50 people. We had like 49 people in it. They going like crazy, and it crashed. And we came back and there were like 17 people or something.
It's
And now
not
there's
a
21. I know. It's just we had such a good stream going, and the stupid computer crashed.
We're getting so much stuff done. We're back to really working on the project, which feels good.
When computers crash, I get upset.
He was very upset about it. And I mean, I'm not happy about it.
Well, Kim ran down there to try it. We thought it was a link problem. What a link problem? It's a computer up here crashed.
Yeah, I think it's.
So she came back up here. And then I went back down to the house to put up a new thumbnail while Kim rebooted the computer and got that all rolling again. And the bad thing is it wouldn't shut off. What'd you do? Finally just unplug it or what?
I just restarted it.
Oh, because I couldn't get it to shut off.
Oh, well, it didn't fight me about restarting.
Oh, I couldn't get it to turn off.
I seem to be a little better about the managing it, but the software, I restarted it and it would not work. So I was like, something's wrong with the system. It must be memory locked or something. So I did a reboot.
Hey, Tommy Hanlon, haven't seen you in a while.
That seemed to bring it around.
Tommy Hanlon from Ireland. Welcome again.
6-phase motor is carbon fiber. Wow, that's fancy.
Let's see. So those need to be and 3 dash. What's the dash number I need?
Mm-hmm.
I guess, do we have a small, like a fairly fine Sharpie over there somewhere.
Ooh.
Oh, what am I thinking? I think I carry one of those in my pocket.
The important viewers are still not the important. The people who could make it back made it back. Other people went to bed or went and found something else to do, and that's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm a little more laid back.
Well, what happened was I spent some time in 390 Wagon Master in his live, and it ended just before we started up, and a whole bunch of those people came over here, which was really cool. And it crashed.
We're streaming for 50 minutes before it crashed. Maybe they'll stop in later. Maybe they'll come next time. It's okay. You don't have to sweat. I said it's not a contest.
You know, it's my CB radio side of my.
We don't get paid by the hour or nothing. It's not like.
Oh, that's thick. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that panel is like doubled up.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good strong pull.
That's why we picked it. Yeah.
Can we we need a measuring device that's.
I mean, you can stick it through there and then mark it with the pen on the back.
I did do that. Now I need to measure where the mark is.
Oh, I see.
I had a measuring device.
Kevin Smith says thank you.
Here it is.
Thankful that no one was injured in the crash. Yeah. That's right.
Nobody got hurt.
At least it wasn't a stock market, right? It was just a computer crash. Nothing. It's
okay. So I get 3/8 grip. Mexican Spec knows what crash. Mexican Spec knows what crash because he was texting me during the computer crash while I'm trying to fix it. Finally, I replied to him because, you know, I thought I better reply to him so he knows I'm working on it. That's when Kim would run to the house and I was still up here, and then we switched. And
it should have been a kink reference. Tim says it's been 70 all week. Tomorrow we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow. But how long is it going to stick around? It's going to blow through and then go away again. At least that's how it is here now.
Snow. So there's a Russian word for the night.
Dean. Dean's amazing. Thank you, Dean.
Sneg. It would be spelled like in English, S-N-E-Y-G, sneg. Sneg. It's snow in Russian. Sneg.
Pitt says I made a volcano out of my lobster bisque in the microwave, but the cat is cleaning it up. I'm sure the cat appreciates
in the microwave? The cat's cleaning it up from inside the microwave?
Maybe. Did you pull it out of the microwave, or did the cat crawl in the microwave?
Okay, I think this is workable. But I think what I need to do first is drill a hole in this thing, pre-drill. Pre-drill this in the vise. Then I'll come back here and drill again.
Okay.
Luis says save. Russian. Save Russian. See, here's the thing. I learned a lot of Russian, and back when I don't want to get in a lot of politics, but there was a time there, and after the crash of the Soviet Union, there was a time when we all started becoming friends. Of course, that's all changed again. But so I have a lot of Russian friends, but some of them are here now. Some of them are stuck there.
Pitt's cat is in the microwave. The door's open, so she'll be fine. I'm sure Pitt doesn't want anything to happen.
The cat is eating right out of the microwave. What is the cat learning from this? Go in there and get the food. Oh, man.
All the Irish and global diaspora thereof will now sing in varying quality. Let's see. Right? Why put a Klondike in the oven at all? Room temperature will work well. Yeah, just patience, for goodness sakes. It says they work together. You don't have cats are smart. They know what needs to happen. Kevin likes to stop on the phone. You just set it on the counter and just give it time to breathe for a few minutes. Or put it in the refrigerator. But if you're going to put something frozen in the refrigerator, set the timer on the microwave, or the kitchen timer, so you get reminded. Because I know anything that I put on the stove or to defrost or anything, I go and I start working on something else, I forget all about it. Oh, by the way, speaking of forgetting all about it, thank you for putting my laundry in the dryer. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you leave that crock pot?
I did.
Okay, good. It's just on the very low, keep it simmering kind of thing, which is kind of where I want it, because then I can eat some when I get home.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even.
Okay, can you hold this against there somehow so that on the shank up here, and it's there. Ooh, that's really close. Shit. I would have moved that. Yep. That over against the taillight housing as far as you can get it.
As far as it'll go.
You're feeling it. How did that happen? Hey. That's close. That's too close.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to put anything in that. What if we
drill a new hole? I gotta move that. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. That's all there is to it. It's just. It's not. It's really not going to hurt anything. It's just I wish I would have done it right the first time. I could probably go real close over there, and that'll work.
What if we?
I know what I have to do.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to hurt anything having an extra hole. It's a 8-inch hole, thick piece of material.
Mark Sauvé says a PSA for using the microwave as a timer. Set time, then set power level to 0, then start. Well, that's not how our microwave is. Is when you're using it just as a timer, there's a button that says kitchen timer. You press that first, and then you put in the number and hit start, and it doesn't run the microwave. Kevin says the foil wrapper was the problem. Well, yeah, it's foil over paper. Kevin says, I'm a patient man, gotta be to build great model cars. You do, Kevin. Models are difficult. They're little.
Jeez, I'm chasing this thing across.
Pitts is my favorite. YouTuber is YouTuber is learning Russian. Did you know you can't buy a keyboard with only Russian letters? I didn't know that.
Well, you can in Russia.
Can you?
The ones I bought here had both, and you can toggle them back and forth. But the next keyboard I buy, they aren't expensive. I want to get one so I can toggle it. Okay, because it's really hard without. Can you hold this again, please? I'm going to try not to chew into your hand. Okay. nice having a sharp drill bit. And this drilled real nice now that it's normalized. Man, it was like just like drilling in a piece of glass. It was nasty.
Luis is going to bed. Thanks for being here, Luis. Thanks for coming back after the Korea.
It's 2 hours later where he is.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's 2:30, so he's got to go.
Oh, he said that. Okay.
Yeah, Luis, check out Mexican Specs Live. I can't believe you don't go there.
Luis doesn't go there? Well, maybe he's busy that time of day.
Maybe, but you should check him out on Saturday afternoon and Sunday late night. It might be too late on Sunday for him, though, Mexican Spec, but Saturday afternoon.
Oh, he does a good afternoon show. For us, it's a little early, but that's okay. I still take the time to go in there and watch it. But this last Sunday, it was just such good, or Saturday, I guess, it was just such good weather. We had stuff to do, so I only watched part of it. Something about Russian hackers.
Where?
That are state-supported, tolerated so long as they don't attack Russians. Oh yeah, I mean it's a huge problem. The only reason I want the Russian keyboard is because I'm not corresponding with Russians, but occasionally I use it for something. But you know why I use it? Because I use it for the to type into the translator. Because there's words I don't know. I don't speak Russian like fluently. I can get by, but a lot of times I got to look something up.
Olive says she took Russian studies to try and communicate with some friends that got out back in the early 80s.
Oh man, that's during Soviet times.
Josh Holmes says old Wendy's wrappers were foil over plastic, but not well made. You could peel them apart. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, what? And you used it for something?
I don't know. I just think it's something you did when you were
kid.
Idle. You just peel. It's like peeling the labels off a beer can.
You know, beer cans are 4,000 thick aluminum. I don't know what the alloy is, but I used to make stuff like little compass cards and stuff. I'd make them out of 4,000 thick aluminum, which is beer can material.
It says they use code to look for machines that have Russian set language. Yeah, hackers do that. Hackers do hacking. It's what they do.
Why am I chasing this?
Do I remember Mr. Rogers? Yeah, I grew up on Mr. Rogers.
Tim, I need your help.
He'll be 100 in June, the jazz guitarist. What do you need?
I'm chasing this whole thing across the floor.
Well, let me get this camera set on what we're doing.
I just need you to put your foot there for a few seconds until I drill through this, because I'm chasing the vice across the room.
I get it.
It's just not fun.
We're doing a live stream. I can't just walk away and give them
walk away
nothing.
for a minute.
I will, but if we're gonna walk away, I gotta show them what's up so they can participate. I gotta give them.
See, everybody, what I'm doing is when I'm drilling this, I'm pushing this thing around the room instead of drilling the hole. I think it's going to take more than that because I'm standing on it too. Why is that cutting? Nothing is happening.
I'm gonna use a self-tap. Why? Because I got a lot of them. They're cheap.
Okay.
You ready again? So it's cutting now.
Yeah. Starting the drill. Okay.
We could try using these next time. It's not the right thing. Don't even do bullshit. They all walked away from the computer. From the thing. That's how it is. When you, as soon as you turn the camera on, you need to walk over there. That's how it is every time.
Everybody complains that you're doing all the work and I'm not. I kind of got into this hinge project, and I guess I carried the drill bit over there.
You need a diamond countersink bit? Nah.
Diamond countersink bit?
Mexican spec says, I saw the U.S. media. Mexico was at war. It was done in 48 hours or so, according to the people that live in Guadalajara, where the bad stuff happened. You know, it was like big and then Iran. It was like a big thing for like 2 days, and then nobody cares about it anymore. Is it still going on? I don't know. You know, I'm at the mercy of the media. I don't get any real information. I just get the propaganda.
You know the problem with all this war coverage? They're not covering our work here.
Do you want me to use a little grinder and take that bevel out of there so it goes in perfectly straight?
I would like that. But at least, okay, it's there. It's just I need shorter bolts. But when I get the shorter bolts, that will hold it. I might put a third one in there, but I might not.
Nobody's even going to be standing on that table.
And it'll be in shear anyway. I mean that would hold a lot. It
would. There's no forces, great enough forces on that to be a burden. You're just
right. Well, and they're AN bolts, which are they're 125,000 psi, which is like a grade, same as a grade 5 basically, except they're certified. So just like me, they're certified.
Certified. There you go. Mexican spec says, I'm glad for the focus being off of us. I am too, because it's insanity what's coming out of our government right now.
Well, so what we need is bolts. What we need is bolts. We need some AN bolts. Okay, Kim, it is. I'll let you do this. And then all we got to do is copy it for the other side. I don't know if I want to do that tonight because we're already like way many hours into this.
Yeah.
But see, that bottom bolt hole right here, you can't see it very well. Yeah, see where that weld is right there? It just needs to be cleared a little bit.
Can't you just clear that?
Can't you just?
I think I can get it with a stone or something like that.
Maybe. It doesn't need to be flat. It needs to be almost flat. Because see this bolt here, Kim? Yeah. This bolt goes through a little bit of an angle, not much. So
yeah, but there needs to be room for the head to get in there. Or
right.
It's going to be binding instead of. You're going to have a hell of a time getting a wrench on that.
I'd rather the wrench not have to get on that because I can tighten it from the back, and if it doesn't spin here because of the flat, it'll be great.
Try. Gosh, it's going to be tough.
And if not, I'll even tack weld it on there.
Yeah, I'll make room and then we can tack it on there. There's no reason, like
well,
we have.
See, I could put an open end wrench in this way. It'll work fine.
It's pretty tight.
Or I can take a screwdriver and bind it up. I just need to tighten it on this side. Man, look at our microphone. Got a little tiny stripe. That looks funny.
It's in the wrong place.
I
have to fix it, but I don't want to mess.
Don't want to mess with it now. Yeah. Okay, this is what I need. Grind it after it's seated. Grind it after it's seated. Oh well.
I thought about that.
Yeah, but it's there's a weld right where the head of the bolt should go flush. There's a weld right there. See where the weld is? And if she grinds that weld out a little bit, then the bolt will seat in there just
Yeah,
fine.
I'm going to get the Dremel tool, and I was just going to take the weld off.
But I need
What do you need?
I need to wash my hands and take a break for a couple minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want this chair?
I don't need that kind of break. I need like I'll take a walk.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I just need to. What happened to the washing fluid? It was hanging there.
You know what? I was using it's in the bed of the truck. I was using it
right in the middle where nobody can read it.
Nobody could possibly read. What about that one?
That one's empty.
Well, don't bother filling it up. Just keep.
Okay. And then there's a cleanish paper towel there, which
It is good to have friends, and Mexican Spec's getting the real story. Yeah, I don't know why they want you to believe this, that, or the other thing that's going on.
Ratings.
Maybe.
Ratings. Whatever they can blow out of proportion or report the thing that gets the most people going. That's what
they do say some crazy things. I see videos with crazy titles, and then the next day those videos are either gone, or the video is still there, but it has a different title.
That's crazy.
Because, like, where I see live streams that are like, they're titled, like live, bombings or whatever, and it's not what's really happening. But by reading the title, it's very misleading titles. Kevin says use 3M panel bond instead of welding. I would love to do that. Yeah. He's I haven't convinced him yet, but that would be good for some of this stuff. But some of these panels have to be removable, so some of them have to be bolted. So we'll see how that goes. Pitt says everything's calm in Nebraska. And Mexican Spec says it isn't always. I think Nebraska's pretty subdued. It's not the place where a lot of stuff happens. Sometimes there's news, but I'd say it's pretty. There's a new law against certain kinds of people in Kansas. It's very controversial in certain circles. I see that all over my news. Big. Glad I don't live in Kansas. Can panel bond handle the weight of the tail? I don't think he was talking about the tailgate specifically. Definitely wouldn't want to put these hinges on the panel bond. And these aren't going to get welded. Now those holes were supposed to be elongated so we could adjust. But I guess if we need to adjust, we'll elongate. We'll take it apart. Kibby Long says per square inch. Yes, I would think bonding is actually pretty strong. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. That's right. We're not in Kansas anymore.
Okay. I took my break.
It does pass quickly.
What's this?
Tim says he thinks he's going to wait until tomorrow night, right before John Wilburn's live, to upload his video, and he'll tell everyone on there. That seems good, yeah. I think John's cool with that, because you're in the No Name 500, and yeah, they'll give you a shout out. Buddy Carfonis hates when the news makes every snowstorm to be the storm of the century. Yeah.
Poor Rosa. Ask Bub. If I make a model of my engine, would it help understand it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I understand it. Is the rotor doesn't wobble. It looks to me like the blades travel in and out of the rotor is what I think you're doing, but I'm not sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, if you did that and video it.
Yeah, when people have prototypes, that's what they do. They make the best thing they can make to show people.
Hey, the seat's warm.
Yeah, that's what my arse is warm.
Okay, so you're gonna do something over there, and I can put the cam on you.
No, you could just pop it.
There you are. There's Kim over there. Okay, let's see. Tim says, I'm looking for a good thumbnail to put in it.
Shit.
Make your own thumbnail.
I found a razor blade. God dang it.
You found a razor blade the hard way? Are you okay?
The hard way. I mean, I just cut it so pretty. I really touched it.
Ford, they have see-through V8 models. Man, I remember when I was a kid, those V8 models, I liked them. I used to go in the Sears store when I was like, it was probably early 60s.
Ouch, my finger's bleeding.
Okay, so you got a problem. So maybe you should stop working while your finger's bleeding.
I know. I just got to find something to wrap around.
Well, wash it with some of that stuff.
It's a clean cut.
It's a clean cut with a dirty razor blade?
Yep.
Wash it. Pour some alcohol on it. So anyway, I used to go in the Sears store, and they sold engines, like short blocks and long blocks in there, and they had them sawed in half, and they were all painted like between the cylinders and the water jackets and everything, and you could see how they all worked, and I thought that was so cool. Ford Rules asked me if I want him to build a model, and he says I have no skills in model building. So why do you ask me that question? Oh man. Hippie Wong says, Buff, check her. Yeah, Kim, come over here. I'm supposed to check you.
I'm fine.
She says she's fine. Kevin says model building takes. Here's what you do. Send the drawings to Kevin Smith. Because he's a model builder. He's a, what do you call it? What do you call you? You're like I forget what they called you. Like some kind of super model builder. I don't remember what the skill levels are in model building. It's like there's down here and then there's up here. He's up here.
Down here, up here.
He's up here.
This model builder stuff. Up here.
Mexican Spec says, I went into KB Toys and saw the transparent V8 engine. I always wanted one. Man, I loved those things when I was a kid. I didn't know if I really wanted one. I wanted a real engine. I was 6 years old. I know that because that's when I got my library card. I brought home Motors Auto Repair manuals and figured out how everything worked, how an engine worked. My father explained some of it to me. So then I got my Tinker Toys and I found a round, big, fat, round Tinker Toy and I plugged some of the holes in it. And then I took a piece of wood and I tried to make a cylinder because I was going to make a wooden engine. I thought it would run. So, but then I started having trouble making something round because I didn't understand anything about lathes or machine tools that turn. And I didn't understand why they didn't make square cylinders because it was so much easier with a file to make a square cylinder. Oh, man. I did a lot of work and went nowhere with that project. Man.
Sometimes you just have to do it wrong so you can know what you don't know. That's how learning's like. It do be like that.
So I think you can hear me over that noise because that's not a real loud noise. It's a little noise. What level are you when you glue your fingers together? You know what I've done that with is super glue. PA. G-Man says, I was disassembling small and big block Chevy for my oldest brother at 12. I would have been doing that, but I didn't have an older brother. I had a lawnmower engine, took it apart, put it together, got it running again, started it up. I started up, but I didn't have any muffler or anything on it, and I had it out in the backyard with a big old string or something to run the throttle. Man, my father come out there and goes like this, and turn that off. You know, we're in a neighborhood, you know, no, just a wide open exhaust and run it as fast as it go, you know. YouTube workman's comp, finger damage, says Daniel Morrissey. Daniel Morrissey, you ever cut yourself with a hair clipper? I don't know if that's possible.
Sure it is.
Well, I'm sure you can do it with a razor blade. How many people get a razor cut anymore? Do people do that? Get a razor cut? I remember that was a thing to do when I was younger. Go to a barber and get a razor cut, and they charge you a lot for that. She could seal the cut with super glue. Yeah, I mean, that's why it was originally, that stuff, CA was originally designed, whatever, developed. I think it was toward the end of World War II for that. Mexican Spec says if she still has 8 fingers, she's fine. Mexican Spec says he cut his chin with an electric shaver.
Thanks, guys. You sure know how to look out.
Ford something, a bad idea. My wife is allergic to super glue. Well, see, if you go into where they model building stuff, it's CA, which is, I forget how to pronounce that word, but there's thin, there's medium, and there's thick CA. Well, the thin CA is it's like super glue, but it's super stuff, and it's really thin, and you can get that on you, and if you stick your fingers together, man, you won't get your fingers quite well. But I used it a lot for, you know, like you get a cut or something, you put a little CA on it, and and water eventually washes the CA off. But by then, you know, it's like it's already healed enough that it's okay. CA is wonderful stuff. You okay, Kim? Oh, you're staring at that. I thought you were holding your eyes. Barrows is here. Good evening. Oh, man, you're here late. Pretty cool. Barrows is here. Yeah, Olive, pronounce it for us. Cyanoacrylate. I don't know. I never knew where to put the accents on the right syllable. Not a clipper. Scissors. Cut yourself with scissors. Tester's red glue was toxic. Tester's red glue would melt the styrene plastic. I mean, that's why it held together. Man, I used to take the red glue and you'd take little tiny pieces of styrene, like off a file or something, and mix it up and make like a little paste. That stuff was great. Testers and Johan model cars for the win. Yeah, Burnby. Yeah, Johan made some really good stuff. My first Johan model was a Chrysler Turbine car. First issue of a Chrysler Turbine car in 1965. That's respect. Hoobie's garage came into my Sunday Night Live, and Mr. Speck pronounced it Hoobie's garage. I said, what? Oh, man. Cyanoacrylate. Where's this? Oh, you're capitalizing. Cyanoacrylate. Cyanoacrylate. See, I need to memorize that.
You know what we're going to have to do?
Yeah. What? I don't know.
Probably have to cut half the head off this thing to get it rid of.
But that'll work. It'll do the same thing.
Yeah, we'll cut.
And like I said, it goes in at a little bit of an angle, so I'm not really worried about it. What, is that stuff pretty hard?
Yeah, and the way we made that little angle, it can.
Okay, that's all right. I'll make it work.
Yeah.
I'll grind the bolt.
Because you work for very little gain.
Right, I'll grind the bolt a little to fit.
Yeah.
And tighten it up the other side as long as it's flush, it'll work.
Yeah, that's just not.
Kevin says that we made plexiglass show cases and used a lot of CA glue. Tippy Walk says acetone and plastic is super glue. Depends on what the plastic is. Olive says I've got it. Cyanoacrylate. Cyanoacrylate. Yeah, that sounds right. Pitt says, I ain't seen Hoovy in a while. I watched Hoovy this morning. Talking about, he got that, I don't know if any of you remember Hoovy had that orange colored, what's the Toyota thing called, yeah, why can't I pull names?
Brain rot.
Brain rot, yeah, that's what I have. What's the hybrid Toyota? Jeez. Anyway, he had this car and he put nitrous on it. When he pushed the nitrous button, he immediately broke the engine.
That little thing.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not doing anything.
Little hybrid car. So then Prius, yeah. So yeah, and Buddy Carfano said it. Everybody's putting Prius up.
Prius. Everybody who said Prius.
Everybody's gonna
three points. If you were thinking Prius, you get 2 points. If you typed it, you get an.
So anyway, he bought it back, and he's got it there, and it's got a couple problems, a couple things changed. Anyway, he was saying that was 7 years ago that he had it when he broke it. And his little daughter was about 4 years old. She went in there and put the nitrous bottle up to the guy in the parts store counter, and she goes, I need this filled. This little girl. So I'm thinking, man, that was 7 years ago? It seems like it was like a year or two ago. I can't believe that was 7 years ago. I was watching him for a while then. I bet I've been watching him for 10 years. So, yeah. So he's got that thing back again without the nitrous hooked up. And then Kevin Smith.
Toyota didn't build the Prius to handle nitrous.
No, it broke that engine immediately. Okay, so Kevin Smith said, Buck, did you build your turbine model? I did. I was 11 years old. What had happened was we moved to South Dakota. And on the way to South Dakota from California, we went through some town in Nebraska, and there was a turbine car driving through a parking lot. And I thought it was a customized Thunderbird. And I told my dad, chase that car. Well, I'm 11, and my father's like, I'm not, 11-year-old doesn't tell his father where to drive, It's like, no. I wanted to go see it. I thought it was a customized Thunderbird. Okay. A few weeks later, we're in South Dakota. I'm in some store with my parents, and they got model cars there. Man, I see that same car, and I recognize it.
Can you believe you saw one on the road?
And then I said, man, and it was the same color. It was that bronze color. Man, I knew what it was immediately, and I went over there and looked at it. It said Chrysler turbine car. I had to have it. I had some change, and it was like $1.70 or something. And so I bought it, and I took it home, and I built it. And it took me quite a while because it had a lot of little parts, but it came out really good. I don't know whatever happened to that thing. But anyway, I built it. Later, I bought several of those that were second or third issues of it. I never built another one, but over the years, I sold them for quite a bit of money. So, I don't know. I probably should have kept one. I meant Hoovy. The YouTube algorithm must have decided I don't need to see him anymore. I have to search him up. Oh, that's good. Knife saying that. D-Man says Hoovy's mechanic rebuilt the Audi R8. Yeah, that's what's his name?
Car Wizard.
Car Wizard. Yeah.
Isn't Car Wizard hanging out, moving somewhere?
He bought a place in New Mexico, and the guy that works with him, his name is what's his name? Can't think of that either. Anyway, he's got several job offers. One of them is to move to New Mexico and continue working for Car Wizard in a somewhat smaller shop, but he's going to continue working there, which is what I think he should do. He hasn't decided what he's doing yet. Hoovy married April Rose. Yeah, I guess. Mexican Spec, did you paint it pink? What, the Chrysler turbine car? No, it came all molded in the correct color. Dean Stevenson, I'm a closet solvent abuser. It's been 34 years since my last confession. Oh, jeez. Okay, so, let me see what you've done here.
I try to get a new one.
Oh, jeez, what's wrong with that?
It just doesn't
I
get
know,
it in there. It's still caught.
You know what?
I think we'll just cut.
I'll have to grind just a little on that bolt, but it won't be this bolt. It'll be the bolt I buy.
Yeah.
This will be fine. This will work well. It's good. Good job, Kim. Mexican Spec, it's midnight here. Time to go, guys.
I think I'm with you. I think we should probably.
I knew Kim would say the same thing as soon as you saw that. As soon as I saw that. And yeah, I'm wound up now. I don't know why. I was working on that.
Well, you can get
going like crazy on that. Nah, I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of drilling into that hardened stuff. So I don't know. I guess we should wrap it up. We had 35 people in here now, so a lot of people came back. A lot of new people came in.
Thanks so much for coming back, everybody.
Yeah, sorry about the. Here, I'm gonna light the Studebaker up just for a second to make sure it works. It does work. Yeah.
Well, we'll be back on Saturday.
Johan Models is one of my favorite brands of models, says Kevin Smith. I haven't had many of them. I've had a few. Mostly I like AMT and MPC back in the day. This is back in the late 60s. Yeah, mostly 1966 through 1970 is when I bought most of my models. And they were mostly AMT and MPCs. So, and a few Johans. So I'm going to say goodnight. I think Kim's going to say goodnight. And thank you all for being here.
Thanks, everybody who made it to the end. I'm awarding you 3 more points. Yeah. And that's what we'll be. Check out Mexican Spec Saturday afternoon.
And Saturday night with us.
We'll be here then. Yeah. Have a great night. Take care. Yes.
Oh, this is back. Now, whatever you did, this button came back. Well, cool.